Hey everyone, it's contest time! To Die For Games is pairing up with Grail Games to give you a fantastic copy of Medici!
Well, Medici is actually an older game that was redone by Grail Games. It's a Reiner Knizia game. It's basically kind of an old auctioning game.
The rules of the contest are pretty simple. You gotta follow the rules or you can't win. You gotta do three things. 1, subscribe to our YouTube channel, To Die For Games. 2, follow, either on Instagram or Twitter, Grail Games. And 3, comment on this video so we know you're interested in winning a copy of the game. If you don't do those 3 things, you can't win. But it's only 3 things. It's not that much.
Pretty simple, so why don't we get on with the video to see how to play, and then you can enter that contest. See you soon. Today we'll be giving a gameplay overview and review of the game Medici, designed by Reiner Knizia and published by Grail Games. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with To Die For Games. I'm Mandi, the board gaming pinup girl. My fellow hosts are
Tracy, the gaming maven.
Stephane, the games teacher.
Are you late for work? You can check out one part of the video. It's okay. There are timestamps below so you can quickly find the part you're looking for.
You've all done this before. Just subscribe and comment already. Come on, please. Please give us your comments. Subscribe. Do it. Do it now.
Medici plays in about 60 minutes, is suggested for ages 10 and up, and accommodates 2 to 6 players. We've got Medici all set up and ready to go, so let's get to it. Objective. Medici is an auction game that takes place over 3 days or rounds. Players bid for commodity cards in order to fill the holds of their ships and receive florins for the treasured commodities. Players attempt to become the player with the most florins by the end of the game. So, Stephane, tell us, what's inside the box?
Components! Love the components! That's Tracy actually, but components. Main game board. 6 large player ship mats, plus 2 small ship mats for a 2-player game. 36 cards with 7 of each of the various commodities, with values of 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2 number 5s, and a card with a value of 10. 36 player counters, 6 in each player color, 5 red commodity scoring markers, 2 blue day track markers, 6 scoring aids, the start player token, and the rulebook. All right, now that we know what we're playing with, how do we set up? Tracy?
Setup. Players choose a color, and only one, then take the corresponding ship mat and wooden tokens. Place the game board within easy reach of all players. Players will place one of their tokens on the bottom gold-framed area of each of the 5 commodity tracks. Place the 5 commodity scoring markers in the corresponding red spots of the crest in the center of the game board. Place the 2 blue day track markers in the center of the crest with the 1 fleur-de-lis marker on top. Players will start with a number of florins on the victory point track depending upon the number of players. Then shuffle the cards and remove a certain number of cards, again based on the number of players, without revealing them. So, now that we're all set up, how do we play? Mandi?
Gameplay. There are 4 steps to each round. Step 1. Selecting the groups for auction. The active player will draw the top card from the pile. Players may choose to draw 1, 2, or 3 cards for the auction group. Step 2. Auctioning a group. The bidding starts with the player to the left of the active player. Each player gets 1 opportunity to bid on each auction group or pass. Step 3. Loading the ships. The player with the highest bid takes the auction group and places them in the ship's cargo holds on their player mat, 1 card per hold. The player then pays the successful bid in florins by moving their marker down the score track. Note, players may not bid more money than they have. Also, players may not bid on an auction group if they do not have enough space in their ship and must place all cards of an auction group. Step 4, Day's End. When all but one player have filled their ships, the last player takes cards from the draw pile to fill their ship, but they must take what comes. Important. If all players pass on a group, it is discarded, and thus it is possible that some players may not fill their ships by the end of the round, so the day also ends if there are no more cards to draw from. So, how does the game end? Stephane?
Game end. At the end of each day, players earn florins for the cards they have bought. First, players total the values on their cards. Player with the highest sum receives the highest payment, which is based on the number of players. Then, players in order receive their points, with the player in last place receiving nothing. The player with the most florins or points at the end of 3 rounds wins. So that is how you play Medici.
And now we're ready to do a review of Medici. I liked this game.
I liked it too, despite that it was an auction game. It's not usually my style, and I liked it.
I also enjoyed it, and I'm not usually a fan of auction games either. So kudos to Reiner for such a great game, and thank you to Grail Games for republishing it.
Yeah, really nice. So we'll get to some of the pretty stuff in a moment, but artwork and theme.
Very bright. I like that. Really appeals to me.
Yep.
Something I can still enjoy a game that doesn't have great artwork, but the artwork just makes it so much more enjoyable to look at when you're playing.
Agreed.
The artwork was simple, but it worked for what it needed to do with all the different types of goods that you can collect. I enjoyed the game.
Yes, I found the artwork and it was very pretty. I'm all about color. As soon as there's bright colors in the game, you have me at that. So bright colors, instantly love. And our photographer, videographer, Paul, was in heaven when he saw this game because it photographed quite nicely. So overall, really nice. The theme. What did you guys think? Did you guys feel it fit the theme or not?
Well, it was an auction game, and the trick with auction games is you can almost put any theme on it, and it really is just a theme.
Right.
I don't know that much about the history of the Medici family, so I don't know about whether it was like the auction was really authentic, but so I didn't really pay attention to the theme, to be honest. It was mostly just the game mechanics that made it interesting for me.
I agree with what she said completely. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I feel like they must have been like rich and opulent and both. Anyway, that's what I gathered because it was just so pretty. Quality of components.
This version we have really good wooden components. We like wooden components.
Exactly. So.
And they're painted or silk screened on the wood as well.
Right.
So the different things. So really, really great job with the components this time.
Which is really, really nice. Yeah, I thought that it was quite nice. The board, the quality of the texture of the board was thick and it was nice. And then the wooden pieces. I mean, you can't go wrong with wooden pieces. So I think we all agree on that. Card thickness, I think, was good quality, good size. I mean, I didn't have any complaints overall. So
no, not at all. Usually player boards are usually the ones that suffer in these ship mats. They're great.
Yes, ship.
Ship. Everyone, say it with us.
Ship. So I like the fact that they were small but not too small. Do you know what I mean? I know sometimes you get games where it's too small or it's too big or cumbersome. Like I thought it was a good size for the game.
I agree.
So it fit quite nicely. Game mechanics.
It's an auction game. For me, I was really, it's similar to trick-taking games.
Yes.
If you play it at just the right time, you can really slide ahead. And I was very conservative with my bidding, and I was getting just the right spots to get the cards I needed. So.
Conservative. Ha! This one? How much did you pay for cards?
Well, most of the time they were free.
Oh, no. She liked hiking the price up for me, because apparently I like to spend money. So that's probably why I lost.
The mechanics were simple for anyone to pick up. It's a game that you can learn to play in about 5 minutes. There's not that many rules you have to internalize. And so it makes it really a classic game. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why. I mean, this game was around before. For I think it was in the 90s.
So I think you said it was originally published in 95?
95, I believe, is around the date, and then it's republished. So obviously, it's a game that people are enjoying if they thought to republish it again. So that's awesome in my opinion. And final thoughts on the game?
I liked it. Like I said, usually I'm not a fan of auction games, and it had just the right amount of pull to make me interested in it. So I liked it. I would play it again.
The artwork and the quality of the components really carried it for me. I also am not usually a fan of auction games. In fact, when I was told it was an auction game, I'm like, oh, really? I don't want to play. But then we sat down, we played it, and even though Tracy thoroughly trounced both Mandi and I still enjoyed the experience, even though it wasn't really my kind of game. I enjoyed it, and I think that's down to mostly the components quality and the simplicity of the rules.
Yes. And overall, yes, I enjoyed the game. I actually think this is the only auction game that I own. I may be wrong. I'm just thinking back through my collection, but I think it's the only one. And I like it because I had initial thought of auction games, and I don't know if that appeals to me. But this one was nice, light. It was really good. Something I did want to note is the player count. It played fine with 3, even 4, but I think it would probably shine best. We didn't quite get to play it at that level, but 5 or 6.
Agreed. I find in general auction games play better because usually then the bidding is really, really competitive.
Exactly. Yeah. So that would be my thought on that. Other than that, though, it was a really fun game. So overall, I give it a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Can't wait to play with more players to check out the competitive feel to it. And that's it. So don't forget, contest. Get your name in there. We want you to get this copy. So
subscribe to our channel.
Yep.
Follow Grail Games on Twitter or Instagram, and post a comment on the video.
Super easy. So go and do it. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.